To be honest, this is my second time filming this, you guys. First time, didn't like it. I hated it. Didn't like the way I said certain things. Didn't make sense to me. Was super nervous. But here I am the second time, hoping this time will be better. And I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from and what I'm saying. What's up, everyone? My name is Wesley. I'm a UX designer and welcome back to my channel. So if you follow my channel and you've seen my most recently uploaded video, or if you follow me on social media, you'll know that I recently got a new job working for a company out in Seattle, which also means that I recently quit my job about 2 months ago. Now, I was at the former company for about 9 months, so less than a year, which is a lot shorter than what I would have wanted or expected. And making a huge decision to leave a company in less than a year, I won't lie to you guys, I went through a huge emotional and mental battle before and after I made the decision to leave, and I'm here to share why. So let's first talk about the company that I decided to leave. Now, this company that I had the opportunity and the chance to work for, it honestly was my dream job for the longest time. Ever since I decided I wanted to become a UX designer and I signed up for my UX bootcamp program, this company was always at the top of the list for me. In the beginning, I did a lot of research into this company just to make sure if it was the right fit for me. I reached out to multiple friends who had the opportunity to work for that company as UX designers, and I basically just asked them for their experience. And you know what? They had nothing but great things to say about the company. I heard from multiple sources that this company had a great work culture, good work-life balance, good benefits, and had a lot of talented designers. After hearing all the great reviews, I felt like, man, I gotta work for this company myself. Now, with the goal of working for this company in the near future, I worked my butt off, you guys, as a UX beginner and a UX bootcamp graduate. And I finally got to the point where I had enough skills and experience under my belt where I got the chance to work for them recently. Now, let me hype up this company a little bit more and share with you guys why I wanted to work for them. This dream company of mine is very successful in what they do. They are ranked number 18 as a Fortune 500 company. They also have a very big, successful UX design team, probably the biggest UX design team in all of Georgia, because in the enterprise side alone, they had about 200 plus designers, which is crazy. With such a big UX design team, I had the opportunity to work with a lot of talented individuals, and I got to build some connection with a few of them. And I hope I get the chance to work with them in the near future again too. Also, if you are a UX beginner and a UX bootcamp graduate, I highly recommend you do look at this company because they do give a lot of opportunities to UX beginners through their internship and apprenticeship program. Honestly, if I felt like the opportunity was right and if I had the chance to come back, I would actually consider working for them again, just because I still highly respect the company and the UX team there. So, as you can see, I had a lot of expectations and excitement going into this company, thinking it was going to be an amazing experience. But not everything goes as planned or what you thought it was going to be. Now, before I share more, let me state that the purpose of this video is to not bash on the company or certain individuals. I'm creating this video to share with you guys that realistically, quitting a job in less than a year is absolutely normal. It happens to everyone and there's nothing wrong with it. Another goal, especially with this channel, is to normalize and share this part of my career and journey, because sometimes I just think, talking about your job, your profession, there's like a certain sense of taboo aspects to it where some people are not 100% comfortable sharing everything. If you follow other YouTubers who share their professional lives and career, I'm sure that you guys have seen plenty of I quit my job YouTube videos where they're sharing why they left and the process that they went through. I personally love that people are willing to share their personal, professional lives because as a viewer, it helps me to understand my own career as well. It helps me to understand my own career and where I'm at. And if I'm in a similar position as them, where I have to make the decision to either stay or leave, I'll know exactly what to do and I'll have some sort of game plan going into that. I also love how they're able to share that part of their journey in the most positive and optimistic viewpoint. So I personally learned a lot from some of my favorite YouTubers who share that certain part of their journey. And I'm hoping that my video will kind of do the same thing for you guys who are watching. So I'm sure everyone wants to know, Wesley, why did you leave the company so quickly? Did something go wrong? Is it not what you expected? What happened? And as much as I would like to share with you guys the different reasons why I left, I'm not going to share the full details and I'm not going to share everything, and here's why. As I've become a YouTuber in the past year and a half, I realized that there is a fine balance between sharing everything and not sharing everything. And I don't think I'm at a point where I'm 100% comfortable sharing with you guys literally everything about my life and career. just because obviously YouTube is an open platform for anyone to watch and see. And I still think I have this slight fear that my YouTube channel could possibly ruin my reputation and my career, especially if you're not being wise about what you're sharing exactly. And who knows, maybe in a couple years, I'll be more comfortable being a YouTuber and be more comfortable sharing more things with you guys. But right now, my gut feeling is telling me not to overshare. So I hope you guys can empathize and understand that. So with that being said, I decided to quit my job because I felt like I wasn't set up for success by the company and the people that I worked under. It had a lot to do with the company culture, the virtual onboarding that I went through, the product team restructures that I went through as well, and the manager support. And that's all I'm gonna say, you guys, because anything more that I share with you, I feel like I'm gonna get to a point where it's gonna start to sound like I'm bashing on the company and certain individuals, and I'm not 100% comfortable doing that. And I'm sure that there are other designers who could disagree with what I have to say, and I'm sure there are people there who are having a great experience. But for me personally, I just felt like I got kind of unlucky, and I felt like I kind of drew the short straw. So it's a mixture of the wrong fit and bad timing, in my personal opinion. And when you feel trapped, or when you feel like your feelings and opinions fall on deaf ears, there's really nothing else you can do but to look for other opportunities, and that's kind of what happened to me. So even after I quit and left the company, I honestly had to do a lot of reflections, and that's some of the things that I kind of want to share with you guys as well. So one of the things that I definitely felt was guilt and a little bit of regret. I felt guilty that I was leaving so soon because you hear a lot about how you should stay at a company at least a year, which is something that I obviously didn't do. And I felt like maybe I was giving up a little bit too early. Half of my conscience was telling me, Wesley, you're being a quitter and you're giving up too early. You're not giving this great opportunity a chance to grow, and you're just being too picky and too indecisive. Along with that, everything that I've heard from the corporate professional world is that if you're leaving too soon, it's a bad move for your career and it's a reckless decision. So when you're dealing with those type of thoughts, you pretty much have to double down and listen to your other half of your conscience, which is telling you, Wesley, you've made the right decision for yourself and your career. Wesley, you deserve better. You've made a smart and calculated decision. Life is too short, have no regrets. Take responsibilities for your action and be able to move forward. And also looking back, I don't feel like I made any hasty decisions. I actually felt like I made a pretty darn calculated decision for myself. It's something that I pondered on for months. I even made a diagram that had all the different reasons why I wanted to leave, what I was looking for in the next opportunity. And I also made sure that I had a job lined up. So by the time I quit, I actually had a job coming up for me. So that way I actually had a plan B. Another thought that I had is I also realized that I'm no longer a UX beginner or a newbie, and I actually have choices. What I mean by that is, as a UX designer with 3 years under his belt, I actually have the experience and the skills to be competitive in the job market, and I actually can pinpoint myself towards the direction where I want to go, whether it means working for a certain company or a certain industry. Because when I first started UX design, I was in desperation mode, which I'm sure some of you guys can relate to, as you're just kind of looking for anything where you can get some sort of experience for yourself and your career. And I sure wasn't going to leave my first job at my first company in less than a year, because in that specific example, I do think that's reckless. And I definitely think you kind of have to bite the bullet a little bit more and stay there and grow your experience a little bit more before you decide to leave and go off to wherever else. In general, it's an unwise, risky decision for yourself as a recent UX bootcamp graduate. But now I have years of experience under my belt, so I have the freedom and privilege to be a little bit more picky and decide where I want to go within my own career. So if you've made it this far into the video, and if you haven't seen my most recent uploaded video, I'll be sharing with you guys what I'm doing next. So I will be trading in my orange work apron for a green one as I begin my new position with Starbucks as a contract UX designer. I'm going into my second month now, and you guys, I love it so much right now. And maybe I'll do another video explaining why, but after coming into this new company, I've realized that I made the right decision quitting my previous job, and I have zero regrets about it right now. Now, when I was looking for a different job, one thing that I looked out for was for a way for me to climb up the ladder a little bit, whether that means having a higher position title or a higher pay. Thankfully, I was able to go from a UX designer 2 position to a UX designer 3, and I also did get a big pay raise which isn't surprising because if you didn't know, contract positions do get paid higher than a full-time position. So super happy and blessed that I could also make an upward jump with the new job as well. And that's it, you guys. I hope that this video was informative and helpful, especially if you're in the same position as I was and if you're thinking about leaving your job as well. And thank you to those who understand why I'm not explaining literally everything about why I decided to leave. I think the more I do stuff like this and the more I get comfortable with it, maybe there will be a time and a place where I get to share with you guys a little bit more. But in the meanwhile, I really appreciate you guys understanding where I'm coming from as well. I hope to continue to provide you guys with the most honest and authentic content, so that way you guys can understand what it's really like being a UX designer and you guys do get a realistic viewpoint as well. Thanks again for tuning in, you guys. And also, if you guys watched from the beginning to the end, you guys are a real one and I appreciate you.